Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. As I promised some people of the community that I would do a birthday tarot reading for the upcoming birthday boy that is 10, wavy 10. I know I think his birthday is the 27, but I decided that I want to do it now while I have the time so I don't forget. So let's read for what he has available to celebrate him and his energy. um, the cards that he got, it's the the Nine of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Four of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. And then from the Oracle of Energy, he got the card of the fourth chakra, that it's the heart chakra. Then I will explain in their meaning. Um, so let's start talking a bit about tense energy in an astrological sense. He is a Pisces. We are in Pisces season already, and his moon is in Gemini. So there's something about a lot of like his energy really flows very magically because even though Pisces is a water sign and Gemini is an earth sign, what they have in common is that they are both signs that are mutable. So it means that they flow towards change and transformation, and also to always continuing in this change. So they are always like becoming into something else. It's like you never can put a label on a Gemini's energy or on a Pisces energy. Pisces because of their mysticism, and Gemini because of how fast their ideas are and their creativity. They are both very creativity. So in this sense, I think that 10 is probably that kind of artist that yes, he can seem sweet for moments, then he can seem intense, then he can turn into a very intellectual person, then he can look a bit detached or a bit like he is a bit apathic. He has mood swings, like a lot of change in his behavior. So for those that follow 10 and actually sometimes probably hear people talking about tense behavior or body language or however he reacts, because I haven't had the chance to actually observe him that deep. um, but I think that if you do notice a bit of changes always in his character or in his moods, don't worry about it. Like, don't try to make assumptions about why he is the way he is today, for example, because he can surprise you. A few hours later or a few days later, he will show another side of himself, and you will be like, oh, what happened here? So he is the kind of person that he's always flowing through change. He's always transforming his energy. He's always something else. He's always out of reach. It's like when you try to grab a fish with your hands, they always escape from you. They are always not not available. I don't know how to explain this, because it has to do with a sort of mystical element, and there's also when you have a Gemini moon, there's also this need to work fast, and to move fast. Let's move on to the next best thing. Let's move on to a next project. Like, let's think about something else. Let's project for the future. Like, he's always like he's in his mind. He's always changing. So you have to accept 10 with that um, with that side of himself, with you actually not really knowing what he's going to come up with next time. He's like this very box full of surprises. So yes, I think that if we start this reading, he definitely is in a very emotional moment right now, but I think that it's a happy one because we start with the Nine of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Six of Cups. So there's something about childhood. There's something about coming back to the place where you were raised, or that has to do with your background, with your history, with what you consider a home, or some place that makes you feel nostalgic. So I don't know where 10 is right now. Is he in Korea? Is 10 in Korea? Because I have no idea. There's something about actually wanting to go back to when he was a child and actually feeling like he had made that dream come true. So I don't know if he was able to travel to his hometown or something like that, because there's this like this, when you desire someone, when you want something so bad, when you have a wish that you want to make it true. Well, I think that probably he ended this last year feeling like he was granted a wish. And it has to do with his background, it has to do with his childhood, and it has to do with his memories as well. So he feels like a child. He is still in this mood of, probably if he is no longer in this place, he is remembering. He is still like remembering all the details of the, if he made a trip, he's still like his heart and his mind is thinking about that. It's thinking like, oh, I felt so good when I was there. Like, I don't know if maybe this was a brief journey or something like that, or traveling, but it seems that for him it was very emotional, and actually it was a bit sad actually to have to leave that, or if he has to leave at some point to go back to work, probably he's feeling a bit like, oh, I have to go back to routine, I have to go back. I think that actually what tense energy in the present, it has to do with the Four of Cups, that it's about apathy. There's something about tense energy that is not actually depression, it's not that he's anxious, it's not that he's sad, but it's a bit like this whatever energy. Like when you are a bit like, I'm not happy nor unhappy. Like I think that he is like, there were moments where I was happier, or that I was like enjoying this much more. Now I am in this sort of obligation mode, that I know I have to do my job, I have to do what I have to do because I am responsible. But he is a bit nostalgic, he is a bit like, um, trying to not to think so much about the past, because he does get emotional. Maybe he's missing someone. There's something about him wanting to go back time, or he wanting to be with his loved ones, probably. So he's becoming a bit apathic, because it's like he's used to giving up a lot of precious moments of intimacy because of fame, probably because of work, because of a lot of things that he had to sacrifice. I think that these cards is not I think that these cards are not here to let me know that, oh, poor 10. This is sometimes what I want the fans or someone that is listening to this reading. Um, when I mention that they feel nostalgic, or that they feel homesick, or that they wish they had what they had in the past, it's not to actually for you to throw a pity party for that idol, because actually he's not unhappy. It's just that there are emotional moments. There's part of his emotional needs, because he's a very emotional guy. Um, that sometimes he does feel a bit like, oh, like maybe I don't know, I need a hug and a kiss from this special someone. Oh, I need to be surrounded by my people. You know, the normal stuff. It's not to get alarmed or to feel sad for him, you know, because actually he's a very professional guy. But the fact that he got all these cards of cups definitely is telling me that he had been through moments of feeling like, oh, I want to go back time, you know, I want to make time stop when I'm enjoying myself with my loved ones. You know, he's also a guy that is always working, so probably for him to stop and actually being able to hang out with the people that he loves, it's a very cherished moment for him, and this is why it is here. So I think that if he has to compare the warmth and the happiness that he feels when he is surrounded by these people and these moments, and then when he has to go back to work, it's a bit cold. You know, I think that this is where we find ourselves with the card of the King of Swords and the Seven of Swords. You know, and I think that also the King of Swords could represent him. You know, him turning into his moon in Gemini, air element kind of self. You know, because I think that when he is in this working mode, when he's working, when he knows that he has to get ready to train physically, mentally, learn choreographies, or record, he gets on this very cold um, mindset. And it's not that he doesn't have feelings for the members or that he doesn't enjoy. It's just that he's getting a bit more strategic, or he's going to get a bit more strategic this year. There's something about tense energy that he is slowly maturing when it comes to that he knows who he is and his value. So I think that he had changed a lot from the previous 2 years. You know, I think that now it's not only about him being more mature or him being like having more experience. It's more about you actually owning your experience, you know, you being the king of your experience, like you really acknowledging that you are powerful. You know, there's something about him also learning to put boundaries to people. You know, probably in the past he was a bit naive, you know, and in these cards actually there's no cards of like rivalry or competition or jealousy. There's nothing like that. But what it is that he's talking to me about himself and his own strategy for this year, that is going to be to take care of him and to put himself as a priority. This is why he is sitting on this throne. This is why he's represented um, with this King of Swords. You know, probably in the past, because he is a Pisces and he's very emotional, like I mentioned, he was like very naive in a few things, or probably he had the opportunity to take the lead or actually to be more recognized in the past, and actually because he was very respectful, or probably because he was a bit shy, or he was like not sure that he deserved it, he was like, oh no, I don't want to do it, like I want this person to get the credit, you know. And now he's like in this new era, in this new year, him also having his birthday, he's also going to integrate in himself a posture of becoming more confident, you know, and being like, oh, I know I'm powerful. I know I'm influential. I know what I bring. I know what I bring. I know what my um, what I bring to the table. I know it. So this is very important. And also here with the Seven of Swords, there's also something about being more strategic, you know, probably learning to be, because when you are a moon in Gemini, sometimes you are very verboragic, so you tend to talk too much. Probably you tend to be very blunt and you tell people your plans, or you tell people details about your life that probably you shouldn't, like probably you should keep it to yourself until you actually make it a reality. So I think that in this case, he's going to learn to hold back a bit more, to be a bit more strategic and reserved, in the sense that he's not going to tell everything about himself or his future projects. Probably he's going to be like, oh, I prefer not to say this, I'm going to keep this to myself, I'm going to, cut the conversation here, so I think he learned this the hard way. There's something, I don't know if he was involved in some kind of scandal, that sometimes it happens with idols, that they say something and somehow it gets misunderstood, or there's a lot of accusations, or people like claiming that, oh, you shouldn't think this, you shouldn't say this. So but I think that he's also learning this because he's looking at his surroundings. He is really clever, he's becoming really clever. He's like slowly starting to become like real strategic person, using his intellect, his um, using his tools to his benefits, probably being a bit more organized, and also knowing how to administrate better his resources, in the sense that, okay, I'm going to give of me, I'm going to give my all, but I'm also going to be expecting a kind of resolution at the same time. Like, I'm not going to do things for free anymore, or I'm not going to give my ideas or my inspiration or my creations for free. I think that there's also something about creation here. Like, I don't know if maybe he was involved in some kind of project or creativity process, and somehow someone else took the credits, and I think he was a bit like, okay, like, I know how this goes now, I know how things work right now, I was able to see how things are working and how people are behaving, so now I'm going to be much more smarter, I'm going to learn from this experience, like, I'm not even going to complain, like, he just is smart enough to be like, I'm not going to say anything, like, I'm not going to say anything, I'm going to let it pass, but I want you to know that the next time I'm going to be the one in charge. Like, I'm going to be the one selecting my own projects. Like, you're not going to fool me again. Something like that. And then from the oracle of energy, I mentioned that he got the fourth chakra, that it's a card of Archangel Raphael. So it's the heart chakra. So there's something about this, is why I also read all these cups here. There's something about that ten needs to heal his heart. He probably needs to do a lot of like exercises, probably like yoga, meditation, these kinds of very spiritual and calming nature, and very um, introspective activities, that he can like slow down a bit, because I think that there's something about him being a bit disappointed about something, so he is becoming a bit, it seems that his heart, it's a bit shut down, his heart chakra is a bit blocked, because somehow he had been through experiences where he saw a few things and about people that he loved and he trusted, so he was like, I don't know if I should love again, or I don't know if I should open my love and my trust and my heart so so spontaneously like I used to do. You know, there's a sort of like uh there's like a wall between how he feels and what he portrays to people, what he's going to show people. Because, you know, like I mentioned, he is in this king of swords attitude, so he is going to be all about, you know, proper communication, even being a bit formal, you know, like being a bit formal and just saying the right thing and the right moment, you know, everything very calculated. And people are going to be surprised, actually, you know, because I think he's also tired of being misunderstood. And I think that this is not only about him. I think that he is also upset for what's going on in the industry, you know, and maybe how some of his colleagues are also being treated. So there's a sense of like, I'm not going to open my heart to you because I know that you're going to hurt me. You know, there's a sense of I need to protect myself, I need to protect my integrity. Um, you know, so he's like a bit like, because, you know, at the end of the day he is a Pisces, so everything that happens around him or everything that other people's experiences, he takes it and he absorbs it as his own experience. So probably, I don't know, if he had like a colleague or another idol that he's close to that went through moments of criticism and moments of, I don't know, a scandal or something like that, he is affected by that as well. And he's also a bit angry about that. So he's like, okay, I'm not going to show myself that much because I don't want people to hurt me. I don't want them to and step on my heart and my feelings, because I'm a human being and I'm a sensitive person and I have feelings. But I'm going to be tougher so they cannot hurt me, you know. So it's a bit like, I think he's going to do great actually. But you see, sometimes when we talk about, you know, scandals and you know, people like always trying to find something to critique about an idol, saying, you know, oh, he did this, he looked like this, oh, she made this comment, or he made this comment. You know how this affects the idol, how this affects the human behind the idol figure, how this affects the person. You know, there's this level of, oh, I have to take care of myself because I don't know, maybe I'm next for the public to despise me, you know. So this is the sense where I cannot be myself, I have to wear a armor, you know, I have to protect myself so I don't get hurt. So yes, guys, this is all I have for 10. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to give it a like if you enjoyed it. And okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye.